So if you didn't see the, actually, hold on a sec. Let me refresh my page. Okay, so if you didn't see the message in the chat, make sure to fill out or access that link, that tiny URL to mark your attendance. As we always have mentioned for this semester, you're getting entries into a raffle to win a company swag box, so keep on marking that attendance and coming out to our GBMs. So, as usual, every week we recognize an outstanding member who's contributed a lot to SWE in the week, and we'll also be giving them a shout out on social media. But before I announce who the Sweetie of the Week is, remember to get involved and attend SWE events. We give points for any SWE event you go to, and that'll add up to a certain level for prizes that you can win in our incentives program. So we highly encourage you to get involved and get some cool swag. But our Sweetie of the Week this week is a first-year CS major from Maryland, one of our purchasing and fundraising chairs, and she's been doing so much in volunteering at outreach events. She spoke on our internship panel last GBM, and she's also been working on a proceeds night. So we're really excited to announce our Sweetie of the Week this week is Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for all your hard work. We've noticed how much you've been getting involved outside of your role as a chair, but also just doing great work in purchasing and fundraising. So thank you for all that you do. Okay, and then something new we've been doing is weekly trivia quizzes on our website, and people have been stepping up their game. This week, Nisha won the top three for our weekly trivia, so congrats, you'll be getting a prize. Um, yeah, there's trivia about SWE, and it changes every week, so definitely test out your knowledge, get to know our website a bit more.
Everyone, if you're graduating this semester or over the summer, or if you know someone who's graduating, please make sure you fill out the graduation cord request form, just so we can make sure we order one for you and you get one in time for graduation. I'll put the link in the chat whenever I'm done talking to you. Um, After, I think it's March 22nd, so a couple weeks from now, we'll be doing a drop-in registration mentoring event. I know it seems like super soon, but registration is like really right around the corner. So the way it's going to work is you can sign up for just like a 30-minute time block, and we have two different RSVP forms, one for the like if you want to be a mentor, one if you want to be a mentee. So I'll drop both of those links in the chat as well. But basically on the form, just make sure you put about like a 30-minute or whatever time you're planning to come, just so we can make sure we have a mentor available for you.
Okay, hey everybody. We have our spring networking night this Thursday. That's in 2 days, and signups are closed, but this is just a reminder for people who did sign up. We're very excited for you to come. Here are the companies that will be coming to the spring networking night, and just be checking your email for the links and signups and groups. Okay, and the next event we have coming up is next Wednesday. It's going to be a US Navy event, which is something we don't see every day, and it's going to be about their nuclear propulsion program. And so we're going to be hearing from Amy Kenny and a couple of her associates on what is going on in this program. And this would actually be a really good event for nuclear, chemical, and mechanical engineers, but of course everyone is welcome to come. So I'll be sure to post the link in the chat.
Hi everyone, we have a technical development event coming up next week on Thursday where two engineers from regarding Power BI and JUMP, and it's going to be a really useful event, and you will learn about how to use these two tools, and what kind of projects you can do with them.
Sorry, mic was off. Hey guys, so community outreach is having an event this Friday from 9 to 11:45. You do not have to be background checked, and you do not have to attend the entire time. We have, I believe, three or four different workshop slots, so you can sign up for whatever times you're available. Please message Ariane by 8 p.m. tonight to respond, because we need to make sure that everything is set up and ready to go. Everyone knows what they're doing, and we contact Drew Charter with all of our material and the volunteers. So if you can help out this Friday morning on that, please contact Ariane.
Yeah, and the only thing that we have in youth programs is just to remind you guys about background checks. Now's a great time to start getting through the background check process, especially if you are looking to volunteer with us in the future. We don't have a ton of events kind of left this semester that will require background checks, but it's good to get started on the process if you do want to be background checked when we do have events coming back that require it. And then, as usual, just super quick, this is part of the background check process. A lot of people get confused by this email, but it's part of the background check process. If you have any questions, though, about it, just email me at that email there.
As usual, just want to highlight our current opportunities. We get tons of emails every day from different organizations on campus and companies who are hosting events that our members might get some value from. So we have 3 different notebooks for different types of opportunities. Make sure to check them out. They get updated almost every single day. And we don't want you to miss out on anything exciting that could help you out. Yeah, this is on our website and also in our newsletter. And with that, we're going to pass it off to Newell Brands, who is our company of the week for our general body meeting.
Hey everyone, let me pull up our deck. Let's see. Of course, my computer decided to be slow. Okay. Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all having a great start to your week so far. On behalf of Newell Brands, just wanted to thank everyone for coming, and we are looking forward to talking with you guys and having a fun next hour. Today we'll be giving you a presentation really to introduce a quick introduction about Newell, as well as some internship stories and advice around internships and careers, and then we will end with a Q&A. So feel free to add any questions or comments into the chat as we present, and whether we'll try to answer them, whether it's during the presentation or at the end. And so with that, started. So who we are, my name is Rachel Holt. I am a product development engineer, and I graduated from Georgia Tech in 2017, and I have been at Newell since graduation, so about 3.5 years.
Great. Hi, everyone. I'm John Bachner. I'm the VP of R&D for the baby business unit within Newell. I've been with Newell for about 14 years, graduated from University of Pittsburgh with a BSME, and I also have an engineering management master's from University of Michigan. So glad to be able to talk to you all today.
Hey everyone, my name is Savannah Smith. I graduated Auburn University in 2018 with a degree in mechanical engineering. I am currently a quality engineer in our baby division, so I mainly focus on our home products, so things such as swings and high chairs and anything that you'll find in that home. So really excited to be here.
Hi there, my name is Lauren Pusey. I'm a principal design engineer, also in the baby group, and I graduated from Georgia Tech in 2007, mechanical engineering degree, and I've been with Newell for the past 6 years.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Knapp. I graduated from Ohio State University in 2018, and I've been with Newell since then, and I work on the car seat team within the baby division.
Hey guys, my name is Rochelle Orlando, and I also work on the car seat team as a product development engineer. I graduated from Georgia Tech in 2015 with a mechanical engineering degree. And with that, we wanted to practice an icebreaker with you guys, so we are going to ask that you guys use the chat feature while we're presenting, if you have any questions. So can you guys type in the chat what Newell brands that you guys see in the slide? Just get some practice in. Okay, Expo, Sharpie, Rubbermaid, all good. Anything else? All right, Rachel, you want to the next slide for the answers? Yeah, so Newell Brands owns a ton of different brands, and all of them are definitely not in this slide. But we have a big writing division and baby division here in Atlanta, and that includes like Sharpie, Dymo, Elmer's, Expo. There aren't any baby products on here, but if you guys are familiar with like Graco or Baby Jogger, so there are a ton of brands that we have, and the big ones for Atlanta are baby and writing, and then in the Southeast we have like appliances like Calphalon, and of course like pure Rubbermaid products. And so we're good.
So Newell Brands is a global consumer products company with a mission to make life better for all of our consumers wherever they live, learn, work, and play. So as Rochelle mentioned, we have many well-known brands like Sharpie, Coleman, Rubbermaid, Yankee Candle, and our products are sold in more than 115 companies and are found in 90% of U.S. households. So I bet if you look around your dorm room or even in your backpack, you will find some of our products. We have more than 30,000 employees worldwide, and our global headquarters is right here in Atlanta, like Rochelle mentioned. And then next, Lauren is going to discuss what engineers and scientists do at Newell Brands to bring these products to our consumers.
So here you can see we have a lot of different types of engineers at Newell. As you saw, a lot of us here presenting today are in the product engineering group, but we have supply planning, chemistry, chemical engineering, materials engineering, electrical engineering, all of these. So there's a lot of different ways that you can apply your engineering knowledge at Newell. And shown here are just our U.S. locations, which are quite a few, but we also have several locations all around the globe. Here you can see some pictures of us women engineers doing our various jobs, working in the test lab, 3D printing prototypes, or presenting our ideas to our cross-functional teams. So next we want to show you a video highlighting a lot of what the women in engineering do at Newell. I am Lauren Pusey, and I am an engineer at Newell Brands.
I am a senior design engineer at Newell.
I am a quality engineer for the baby team.
My team and I manage all of the GKM programs, so all of the innovation that comes through the writing funnel.
So my team is in charge of developing Elmer's products.
I actually started out with Calphalon, so cookware, knives,
strollers, high chairs,
your swings, bumper jumpers,
Sharpie, Prismacolor. All those crafty things that lights people's eyes up when I say I work for the company that makes Sharpie.
And I love the energy of making things that people use every day. Things that are really practical, things that you can put your hands on, things that people buy.
to have a hand in something that brings other people joy, to go into the stores and see something that you had a hand in getting there.
And you can really have this sense of pride in seeing your work out there in the world. That's really an exciting part of my role.
Working at Newell has been great because it's the most diverse in terms of the number of women that are in a technical role. I think it's just the culture.
With Newell over the past several years, it's been really encouraging to see the company being more intentional, bringing in women at different levels even. And who better to reflect the consumer than women engineers?
We have different life experiences than men or than each other. I think it's important to have the variety of experiences to bring with you to your job.
Part of being a female engineer is bringing the diversity that I have and matching that with other members of our team so that we can really harness it.
Ultimately, that brings out a better workplace. It brings out better innovation. In the end, we all win, right? Because we have a better product at the end of the day.
It shows in our products. It shows in how consumers react to our products because they can tell, wow, this is a well-designed, well-rounded product.
There's so much talent in our chemistry team and our product engineering team, our design engineers. Being a female or a male in that role is an opportunity to deliver these results and work with some peers who have so much talent within the organization.
It's talented engineers and female engineers who will help bridge the gap, who will come up with the solutions that our consumers are looking for and will figure out how to make that happen.
You're seeing increasingly more and more women coming into the engineering fields. I get really excited and look forward to what they're going to bring to the workplace and to the world too.
All right, so we all know that college is a time where you want to kind of find exactly what you want to be doing after you graduate, and one way to do that is through your internships. So Nick Nas is a chemist with our writing division, but she isn't able to join us tonight, so I'm going to be presenting her internship journey for you all. So during her internship, she wanted to try various sectors and specialties of chemistry, and her first internship was a government role at the Illinois State Water Survey. So the role had a heavy focus in quality control and sample collection, testing, and water treatment. And through that internship, she confirmed that she did really like chemistry, which is a good thing, but she didn't really like the repetition of working in a wet lab. So her next internship was working at the Cal State Los Angeles, doing academic research with the focus in biochemistry. So she was fascinated by the research and the potential impact of the research, but she also realized that biology wasn't her thing. So her next internship or work experience was here at Newell Brands. This was her first experience applying chemistry in an industry setting with new product development and formulation. So this opened her eyes to just how many products we use every day rely on chemists. Most people don't look at the pen they're holding and think of the chemist that did the ink formulation or the color analysis, or the chemist that made sure that it glides smoothly on your piece of paper. So during that internship, Nick Nas got to work with the color and problem solving through formulating, and she really enjoyed the fast-paced environment that we provided, since new product development deliverables are always changing. So after that internship, she realized that industry might be a good fit for her after she graduated. And then her last work experience during undergrad was doing graduate level research. So this was in academia with a heavy emphasis on bioinorganic and organometallic chemistry. And through that experience, she realized that grad school and academia were not the right path for her, but she did confirm that she really liked inorganic chemistry. So with all of her experiences, it took 4 experiences for her to confirm that industry was the right fit for her. So when Newell came around with an offer, she didn't even hesitate to accept. So now she works on our writing division as a chemist, working on all those products you see there, such as Prismacolor, Expo, Papermate, Sharpie, Mr. Sketch. So it might not be an easy path, but with trying different sectors and industries, you'll find what fits best for you. So next, Rochelle is going to share her internship journey and how she found her way into her current role.
Hey guys, so I have a really similar story to Niknaz, and it's going to echo the same theme of like your internship experience is all about, trying different things. I think it's really important with engineering that there's a lot of different disciplines to specialize in, so figuring that out definitely takes some time. So where I started my internship journey is as a quality engineer for John Deere, and so this was really getting used to the first experience in a factory environment, making sure parts coming off the line were to spec and good quality. And then secondly, this was in a really small town called Ottumwa, Iowa. And just to give you guys some perspective how small this town was, Obama stayed in the same hotel where the interns were housed during our internship experience. So very, very tiny town. But it is probably the most fun that I've ever had at an internship experience, just because all of us interns got really close. A couple projects that I had was like creating a database and tagging discontinued service parts. This helped the accounting team with accounting for depreciation of assets and working with consumer services and the dealerships so they can maintain those service parts. And then as well, I got to help out with an internal UA audit. So not just working on like quality engineering, but also got a lot of exposure to like other parts of the business. And then after that summer, I became a process engineer co-op for a company called Mariel. They manufacture pharmaceuticals like Frontline and HeartGuard. So this co-op was supposed to be about like process improvement in the factory, but I was a little disappointed because it ended up being more like heavy in AutoCAD, documenting changes in airflow and clean rooms, and assisting like the construction of a new building. And it really wasn't the experience that I wanted. And I learned that assignment and environment like really matters to me. And then on top of it, I was the only intern in the building, so it was a pretty extreme difference from my first internship experience. So I didn't continue on with that co-op, and that next summer I went back to Deere as a manufacturing intern. And this is where we were managing the assembly making process and making sure that design translates properly into the physical world. Super fast-paced environment, which is what I wanted, but that next step up from the quality engineering. I could even think of it as a bonus. The hours were like 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So after work every day, like a lot of us would go to the pool, which as a summer intern, sometimes you don't get that experience if you're just working all the time. But my big projects for this, we were in a mile-long factory, so it's pretty cool, not just for the line that I was working on, but just to see how much goes on in a factory. We were focusing a lot on installing like laser equipment. I know it's hard to believe that computers are so popular that these days that a lot of things like weren't automated or automated, that inventory wasn't automated. So we were doing a lot of laser equipment, making sure that supply chain, or that there are enough parts with the supply chain team, ensuring that technology is working with IT, changing workspace layout with like the industrial engineering team. So again, just really not just working as a manufacturing intern, but getting that exposure to other parts of the business as well. And then for my next summer, I went to Raleigh, North Carolina as a advanced R&D intern. And on the Newell side, we would call that like our upstream team. So basically this is where we're creating prototypes based on like new research in the market, really, really heavy on just like building prototypes and doing your own research and validating it. So this is things like, how do you combine products into one? There's a really big trend in the market. So think of like a 2-in-1 shampoo or Swiss Army knife. How can your products do more than just one thing to add value to the consumer? And then another project was how much power does an electric clutch need? and can we give it less power to create cost savings? So a lot of like analytics on making a DOE and a measurement system analysis. So pretty different from what I was doing in the past. I wanted to be challenged from something I wasn't used to, and I definitely was, in a more like creative environment. And then lastly, you guys can, just a overall summary, there are a ton of poor quality photos at the bottom, just to highlight how much fun I had during my internships. And I just want to remind you guys, whatever internship you choose, it's a really good bonding experience, not just like with interns, but also the full-time employees. And so at Deere specifically, we were like housed in the same building. We did intramural events together, traveled to new cities together in the area. Like you see that first photo I made. First I met these guys. We made them go to like that famous picture with like the fork. I forget what it's called. Not a forklift, but just had a really good time hanging out with these people that you might not ever see them again, but maybe you'll run across them, or maybe you'll need them for a recommendation for anything. But just make sure that you're having a good time in your internships. And with that, I'm going to pass it out to Lauren.
So as you've heard about these two internship journeys, Lauren and I are going to talk some more about some general internship advice and really echo what has already been said, but kind of elaborate a little bit more. And I think the biggest point that we want to give is that, every internship experience is different. A lot of you will have very great internship experiences, but, there's always a chance where you're going to have a bad internship experience, whether it's you find out that you don't want to work in the field that your internship is in, or if you really, the culture at the company isn't what you want, or you like the field, but the actual specific work that you're doing is not, meeting your expectations. And so what I know Lauren and I both have gone through internships that were not meeting our expectations and were difficult from multiple perspectives. And with this, it's really embrace these as much as they are tough. Like, you can learn as much from a bad internship as you can from a good one. And really use this to shape how you look for your internships and full-time jobs after college. Whether, that's forming interview questions, because, I want to avoid, a certain type of culture, and really think about what kind of questions you can ask in interviews, moving forward, to give you an idea of the culture. Or, for me, it was the culture. And the people management, and, in internships, I had managers that really didn't value interns a whole lot. And so he would literally kick me out of meetings because he was like, oh, it's not productive for an intern to be here. And, that really shaped the way that I looked for jobs. And I had companies that had a lot of gossip, and just the coworkers they weren't friends. They were just kind of there to work and then leave. And so it ended up, even though I had a few bad internship experiences, it ended up, pushing me to work at Newell Brands, which I love the culture, and that's one of my favorite things about working at Newell. And so it really kind of led my internship journey and leading into my full-time job of something that I love. And so I just want to really emphasize, don't just give up on your bad internship experiences. Really take what you can learn from them and apply them in the future.
Yeah, and just to add on to what Rachel said, a good experience or a bad experience can be related to your subject matter, your project that you're assigned, or it can be related to the culture. It could be related to, you can look at your internship a lot of different ways. You can look at it, look at the size of the company that you're at, size of the team that you're working with, whether you're working with cross-functional team members or not. Just look at all the aspects of your internship and just try to figure out how you feel about all of those things and take note of those. And that way you get a valuable experience out of even an internship that, isn't your dream job, And neither Rachel or I, both of our bad experiences were not at Newell, just so you know. We've gotten a lot of good feedback from our interns. We do have a good internship program if you guys are interested. Also from my experience, part of my difficulty was that I moved away from my internship, which is not my comfort zone. I am kind of a homebody, but it turned out to be a really good experience for me. It was my one sort of opportunity to live alone and not be with a roommate. And so I think that was another valuable experience for me. So I definitely encourage anyone if it's not your comfort zone, try to push yourself and get that experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. And kind of to tie all of this together, I think a big theme is just learning as much as you can and soaking in as much as you can. Whether that's preparing you for the future in actually job searching or, just the work, asking questions and asking people who you don't work with on your team or who do a different job than you, and really learn how the company works and how industry works, and just don't just do the job that you were assigned to do. I think there's huge opportunities in internships of learning, random skills that you never thought you would learn. And I think that also ties in of when, for instance, internships that you don't find yourself with enough work, which I think is sometimes a common theme. Find a way to be productive, whether that's asking a coworker if you can help them on a project, or, for me, one of my internships, I decided to learn how to program macros in Excel and, things that I could help develop in my career, moving forward, and really taking the time to just grow, not only in my work experience, but as a employee as well.
Yeah, and also, like you've seen in the previous slides, definitely recommend doing as many internships as you're able to. You might not be able to do as many as Bell and Nicknaz were able to do, but just try to do more than one. Like my first internship was my bad experience, and it was in automotive and automotive manufacturing specifically. And so I was glad I did it because I learned, okay, that's one thing that I don't feel like I fit well here. And so I was able to kind of, check that off the list. And then I was able to get another internship in kind of a completely different direction, in a smaller company, so way, way smaller than automotive, and in product development. And that led me to find out that I liked product development and ended up choosing my career path in there. So, and your internship experiences don't have to be like complete polar opposites. Like Nicknaz had a nice progression of hers where she was like, okay, this is what I like and don't like about this internship. And so that guided her choices on the other ones. So just listen to yourself and your gut, and use every opportunity as a learning opportunity. That's why you're at school, is to learn in the classroom and learn out in the field as much as you possibly can. Rachel, do you have anything else to add before I pass it off to John?
No, I think we're good. I think we're ready for John.
All right, so John's going to go over some things that not only leaders at Newell, but also most likely leaders at other companies are looking for in interns to help you think about what skills you want to develop and present in your interviews.
Thanks, Lauren, and great experience. to share. And my career, I've been at Ford, so more in that automotive manufacturing, and I understand, Lauren, that's a very different environment, product development, and then also in product development here at Newell. But overall, when you look at an internship, employers are kind of looking for the same things. And, I kind of put them into three buckets of technical capability, collaboration, work ethic, and integrity. And, every employer, we don't expect interns to come in and have all the technical knowledge that they need in any particular industry. And that's, it's a good opportunity for the interns to learn that, but then also for us to learn about the interns. And, when I think about technical capability, it's less about the particulars of any particular business. It's more about the approach to problem solving, the ability to learn those concepts and ideas and take what you've learned in school and apply it to real life. And then, how you take that and are able to deliver projects, but then also understanding where you need to go and ask for help, use your resources and those around you to kind of gain that knowledge and experience to deliver the outcome. So, in the industry world, it's very typically collaborative. So you have to interact with people both in the technical function and in many times, cross-functionally in marketing and finance. And all of those interactions, we're looking for interns that have those interactions, have positive interactions with their coworkers, their peers, their leaders, and cross-functionally are able to take all of that information in to kind of drive what they're doing and to learn as much as they can. And then obviously on work ethic and integrity, really looking for positive attitude, right? A positive can-do attitude about projects, about working with their peers, and the ability to deliver on commitments and that drive to get things done. Those are really the fundamentals. And the internships is not just about, employers evaluating the interns, but it's also your chance to evaluate the employers. And if we go to the next slide, the other thing I always like to encourage is, what you can look for in that internship experience. What are you looking for in a company? And I know some great, ideas from Lauren, from Rachel, from Rochelle on all their internship experiences on things that are good and bad. When I look at it from a big picture, you're really looking for the right company culture, a company that has that commitment to employees. They're given the flexibility that you want or you need for your work-life balance, but also engaging with your peers, the ability to work together collectively as a team and really kind of have that experience of having those around you who are supporting you and having those around you that can help kind of learn and mentor from. And then product and process. I think, we're all looking for different levels and different things that challenge us technically as engineers, as technical people. I think most of us all like to be challenged with a good problem. And, look for those opportunities where you can take on those challenges and learn from your experience, but then also a passion around the products you're working on. Can you get excited about coming to work every day? Is there a purpose around what you're doing? And, many companies can offer that in various different ways. And then the opportunity for your own personal growth, whether that's ability to take on new responsibilities and having that career progression, but also opportunities to learn and develop new skills, new areas of expertise. And it's so important to be able to learn, from those around you. You're not going to have all the knowledge coming into any industry. Every industry has its unique parts and the unique things that you'll have to learn as you come in. The openness to those around you to teach, to mentor, to guide you is really critical when you're looking for that employer in the future. So can't say enough. I do think you learn from your good experiences and you learn from your bad experiences, whether that's an internship or in your career. I know some of the best lessons I've learned have been working for bad bosses, and you learn what not to do. So, keep that in mind and try to take what you can from each experience that you have in the workforce and in school for that matter. So, really some great opportunities to kind of engage, learn about your employer, but then also learn about yourself and what you want to do.
Hey everyone. So switching gears a little bit just from internships, one of the big questions a lot of people always ask is, why am I learning this? Or am I ever going to use what I'm learning in class ever again? And the short answer to that is yes. You will 100% use what you learn in class in your career. Now, you might not be using all of your formulas or doing tons of calculations in fluids or anything specific like that, but you could be, depending on your job. But you will definitely take what you, like the core fundamentals of what you're learning in class and use that every single day in your job. I do want to preface just, we have 4 things listed on this PowerPoint, and there are definitely other things that are applicable to this. We just wanted to do a quick summary and just overview and show you that yes, you definitely will use what you learn in class in just your overall career, and you will continuously use it. Just this first bullet point, just your class material. Again, you're not going to be using these formulas from memory. You're not going to have to recite anything, but you are going to take this idea of how to think critically and how to use knowledge that you have and apply it to other problems every single day. You're going to be using those fundamental basics absolutely all the time. Probably the biggest thing when it comes to just in general your class material is you're not going to know every single answer, just like you don't know every single answer in class. You're never going to know every single answer in your career. And just knowing when to go and ask those questions, who to ask those questions to, and even what question to ask is definitely something that you will learn in class and that you will need to take and continue to use when you're in your career. This second bullet point, John mentioned this, so you know, put a star around it. It is huge. Collaboration. Those group projects that everyone seems to just dislike and are annoying, they are teaching you very important skills and what you are going to need when you go into your career and you are working with these cross-functional teams. You're going to be working with people who are technical or non-technical. You could be working with a marketing person. You could be working with a different engineer in a different degree than you are. And you have to learn how to communicate properly and make sure that you're constantly moving forward, moving to that next step and not remaining stagnant. You have to collaborate and talk with everyone at all times. Because just like in your group projects, not everyone is going to have the same schedule, not everyone's going to think the same way, and not everyone's going to have that same work process. Some people will work more in the evening and some might be in the morning, and just you have to be able to adjust and take that, and you will be definitely using that when you're in your career. This next concept, the concept of learning, is actually one of the biggest and probably one of my favorite things overall, because it's definitely more underrated, but you will constantly learn when you are on your job. It is really more understated than just, you're not reading a textbook every single day. You're not going to be taking quizzes or tests on this material that you're learning, but you're going to be tested in other ways, and just knowing how to learn and making sure you're keeping up that skill is just so important, because every single day you're going to be facing these new challenges. You're going to be facing new problems, and you have to be able to adapt and solve those. There's also just different ways that you can learn throughout your career. You're going to be able to take other classes online, especially now. You have Udemy, Coursera, all of these other opportunities that you can continue that learning that way in the more traditional sense, but you're also going to have your typical on-the-job training where you're going to just be learning these new skills and tasks every single day. And then this next bullet point is just brainstorming and problem solving. So work is very, very similar to basically most of your tests where you haven't necessarily seen these questions before, but you still have to take that base working knowledge and apply them to these new questions and answers. There is nothing set in stone during your career. You're not going to, ever be able to face these challenges before until you literally are like, oh, I need to solve this problem right now. And it's definitely one of those situations where you just have to be able to think on your toes. And again, with that whole asking for help and going with other people and brainstorming ideas, you're not all alone in this. And just going back and forth and making notes and just getting other ideas from everyone, and then taking what you learn and being able to absorb all that knowledge and use that to solve the problem that you are trying to face is just absolutely critical. And you do that in school, and again, you're going to do it in your career. So just wanted to really hit on these 4 points. So I do want to make sure that we have plenty of time for questions, which we'll move on to next. And so if anyone just wants to jump in the chat and type any questions that you have for any of us, please feel free to go ahead and do so.
So I see one question. Where do you see interns struggling with the most when starting in their roles? Does anybody else want to jump in here?
I can take that one.
Go for it.
So I had an intern a couple summers ago, and probably the hardest thing for her, especially when you're in these more creative, or just a role that you haven't been in before, is just diving into it and just taking a stab at it. I think as engineers, we really get in this space where we want to know what we're doing, and a lot of times in engineering, it's just about trial and error. So I would encourage you guys to just be outspoken, brave, and just try and tackle a problem on your own to an extent. And I think that will show a lot of courage to your manager as well, that you're going above and beyond, and you're not scared to do things. I know a lot, for our interns, for example, I think everyone on this call on the Newell side can agree. We do a lot of drilling and oscillating tools. I would almost say daily sometimes, and we don't get that experience as women early on, and so sometimes it can be a little daunting, just taking a saw and chopping a car seat in half. But once you do it a couple times, it just comes second nature. And so I would just say, be proactive and go for things, and don't be afraid.
Yeah, I totally agree. Internships are a great opportunity to, try stuff out, gain your confidence, build your confidence, and, don't be afraid to ask questions, but also, trust yourself too. In brainstorming situations, I think I've seen interns be, afraid to put their idea out there, and that's the whole point of brainstorming, is to just throw stuff out there, and it might be completely off the wall, but it might be a great idea that the people that are there full time, sometimes us full time people get blinders on, because we're just so used to working in, this category, and maybe we need an outsider's view, or if we don't go with that exact idea, it might trigger or spark an idea from somebody else. So definitely don't be afraid to speak up in brainstorming and just try something out.
And while everyone is thinking of their questions, I will go ahead and flash this slide up, hopefully. No, I know where feel free to keep adding questions to the chat. Wanted to flash this up for everybody. So if you have more questions, or feel free to email us, campusrecruiting@newellco.com, as well as we do have a full list of positions available for our company at our career website, which the link is shown here. And I can email your Georgia Tech SWE execs, and we can get this information to y'all. As well as, if you have specific questions for us, or don't feel comfortable asking in front of the whole group, we're all on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect. A couple of us will be at the spring networking event on Thursday, which we're really excited about. We had a great time doing it in the fall. And we are currently working on planning another event at the end of the month, and a little bit more casual. We are hoping to do a cooking class at the end of March 29th. We're still working out the virtual aspects of it, but hopefully more info to come on that regards. Also, these are just Newell Brand social media. If anyone's interested in looking us up on those platforms, that's how you do it. And with that, we'll leave the last few minutes again. Feel free to drop any questions in the chat, whether it's school, life, career, anything.
Yeah, and I think another question came up. What role do environmental engineers play in Newell Brands? And I think this is becoming more and more kind of a core of what we're looking at in a couple different areas where I think environmental engineers can have a career at Newell. One is we have a number of manufacturing facilities and operations facilities, both in the U.S. and globally, where environmental concerns are always top of mind, and always looking for how do we make sure those facilities are as friendly as possible to the environment, to the around them. But also we're gaining a lot of momentum, working to build more sustainability into our packaging and our products. And I think the environmental disciplines can play a key role in looking at how we're approaching that as a business, because we are driving to try to make sure we're being more sustainable in how we're executing our new product development. In fact, we're launching a team in our Huntersville location that will focus on product sustainability and packaging sustainability. So, look for those kind of opportunities, but definitely I think they play a broad role in both our operations and in our product portfolios.
And with that, if we don't have any further questions, I know it's coming to the end of the meeting. So again, feel free to reach out on LinkedIn or our email. And we look forward to seeing some of you guys at the networking event, as well as any future events that we do with Georgia Tech SWE. And we just thank you guys for your time, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, whether it's studying or hanging out with your friends. And yeah, thanks everyone.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for having us.